So to understand if you should invest in WWE or not, you first have to go over their background. So WWE is an American professional wrestling promotion that is entertainment-based and performance theater. It features storylines, scripts, and partially choreographed matches. The main roster is divided into two different touring brands, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, which also has a development brand named NXT. Monday Night Raw takes place on Monday nights, being aired on USA Network starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. SmackDown takes place on Friday, and it is aired on Fox Network starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Throughout the year, WWE hosts 12 pay-per-views all over the world, and the pay-per-views consist of the biggest wrestling matches and significant events within the storyline. And there are currently 245 wrestlers under the WWE brand. And a little bit of history about the WWE. It was founded as the Capital Wrestling Corporation, or CWC, in 1953, and it was territory of the National Wrestling Alliance, or NWA. The CWC left the NWA in 1963 to become the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, or WWF. And then in 1971, they rejoined the NWA while also renaming their brand to World Wrestling Federation, or WWF, in 1979. In 1982, Vince McMahon bought the company from his father and became the executive chairman, having a 38.6% ownership of the company with an 81.1% of the voting rights. And then in 1983, WWE left the NWA for good and also renamed their brand from the WWF to the WWE, which it still is today. And then in 2023, Vince McMahon engineered a merge with Endeavor's UFC company to form TKO, which made McMahon executive chairman, giving up majority of its control within WWE.
WWE's ability to adapt has been, in recent years, a very impressive thing to look at from a business standpoint. Their COVID comeback, especially, is incredibly interesting to look at. As COVID hit, WWE was considered an essential business and was allowed to continue working under COVID guidelines, but they moved to an entirely broadcast event model, which meant no fans were in the stands during any of the event broadcasts or during the taping of any of the live events. WWE still saw some revenue increases across all departments and investments. As far as finances go, from second to third quarter of 2020, the WWE saw a 19% increase in total revenue before a sharp near 30% decline by fourth quarter of 2020 due to the absence of ticketed live events. However, by the second quarter of 2021, the company saw a 19% increase in total revenue due to the WWE's monetization of multiple digital content segments, as well as the reintroduction of the WrestleMania live touring model in July of that year.
The revenue streams for the WWE are ticket sales, merchandise sales, which the WWE sells toys, apparel, and video games. Also, naming rights for athletes in the events, partnerships associated with the venue, and media segments, which are broadcasting rights for shows, fights, and recoverability after significant losses for the WWE. When the WWE went public in 1999, it raised an impressive $173 million. Today, the WWE stock approximately is $100 a share, with the company's latest value totaling a whopping $9.3 billion based upon the purchase price of the WWE by the UFC parent company, Endeavor, in April of 2023. However, such a massive sale was not always foreseeable for the wrestling giant. Like many businesses, the global pandemic caused by COVID-19 impacted the organization, requiring them to cease operations, resulting in immediate 19% loss in the stock's value. In April of 2020, the WWE was deemed an essential business and was able to resume activity and actually demonstrated a $53 million gain from the previous years of the net loss of $6.8 million as a directed result from new media rights with Fox and NBC Universal. With such success, in spite of the global pandemic, economics realized the company was one of the few that could weather the global pandemic. Despite the WWE's great success during the global pandemic, the company was exposed in a way they could not comprehend. In June of 2022, the CEO of WWE, Vince McMahon, stepped down during an investigation into a $3 million hush money settlement for an alleged affair he had with a departing employee. By early July of 2022, the Wall Street Journal reported that McMahon agreed to pay out over $12 million to 4 women in the past 16 years in an effort to suppress allegations of sexual misconduct. As a direct result of this bombshell, in the article, the Securities and Exchange Commission and federal prosecutors launched an investigation into the use of company funds to make such payments, which actually resulted in the discovery that the hush money payments were totaled in a surprising $19.6 million. However, McMahon would orchestrate a return to the company only 6 months later, in December of 2022, to orchestrate the $9.2 billion sales of the WWE to the UFC, parent company Endeavor. Despite these sexual assault scandals and various other personal injuries lawsuits by former wrestlers, it was not until the federal prosecutors launched a sex trafficking lawsuit against McMahon in February of 2024, which prompted his quick exit and end of his 50-year association with the WWE. With McMahon's departure, it appears the company exposure is far less, but quarter 2 earnings report is not available till June. WWE has a great relationship with the community. They have partnered with Make-A-Wish Foundation, which the WWE has granted over 6,000 wishes over the past 40 years. Also, the V Foundation. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, which is a WWE athlete, has created Connor's Cure, a fund at a children's hospital. Connor's Cure has raised over more than $4.6 million and helped more than 500 families around the world. The Special Olympics. WWE partnered with the Special Olympics to promote power and joy throughout sports. The Boys and Girls Club of America. The partnership helps with bullying prevention by providing a bully module to 4,300 clubs and 4 million kids to access to tools and education material that helps with safe and inclusive after-school environments. USO. The WWE has brought entertainment to the military for more than 20 years by base visits, viewing parties, and providing tickets to WWE events. Console. The WWE has been a supporter of many AED console campaigns. National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation. WWE is a proud partner of the National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation to spotlight stories of the nation's bravest heroes.
There are currently 245 wrestlers on the WWE roster across all TV properties as of April 2024. The main roster contracts range from anywhere from $250,000 per match for a live appearance to $12 million per year, with top earners making up to $500,000 on average per main event appearance, as well as a 5% profit on personal merchandise sales. Some of the highest paid contracts as of April 2024 are Brock Lesnar, multi-champion who makes $12 million per appearance. John Cena, while only a part-time roster member, makes $8.5 million per year per live event. Roman Reigns, $5 million. Randy Orton, $4.5 million, and so on and so forth.
There are 10 financial ratios. So WWE's current ratio is 1.45, and as we talked about, anything above a 1 is a great indication that the company is well positioned to cover its current or short-term liabilities. Their price to earnings ratio is 30.88, and that is just the financial reporting of both companies. And investment research services use a basic earnings per share, and then it is divided into the current stock price to calculate the price to earnings ratio. The price to cash flow ratio is 48.06. The interest coverage is 13.36. Their quick ratio is 1.37, and as again, anything above a 1 is a great indication to invest in the company. Their cash ratio is 0.51. Their gross profit margin is 0.43. Their return on assets is 0.14. Their return on equity is 0.38. Their net income is 0.74 per EBT. Their fixed asset turnover is 2.01, as well as their operating cash flow sales ratio is 0.25. Their cash flow coverage ratio is 0.52, and their short-term coverage ratio is 1.42. With competitors and how the WWE handled them, they have had major competitors since becoming the WWF and then into the WWE. Their main competitors consist of World Championship Wrestling, also known as WCW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, also known as ECW, and then currently their major competitor is All Elite Wrestling, also known as AEW. Throughout the time, WWE's biggest competition was WCW, which turned into what everybody calls the Monday Night Wars. It was called the Monday Night Wars because both companies' main brand, WCW having Monday Nitro, and WWE's Monday Night Raw, both aired on the same time on Mondays, 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time, and they were both fighting for ratings over the other. And then while WWE has had some major competitors since they've become public, they've always stayed number one in the ratings, helping them take out other competition. They actually bought WCW and ECW and are in the mix of buying AEW. So no matter what the competition has been, no matter how hard it's been for the WWE, they've always been able to outlast their competitors. So a little bit more on the Monday Night Wars. It took place from September 4th, 1995 to March 26, 2001. And the ratings war was part of a larger overall struggle between the two companies, which included the use of cutthroat tactics and legitimate defections of several wrestlers and writers between the two companies. And then in January 2001, Fusion Media Ventures, led by Eric Bischoff, who owned WCW, announced that the WWE was purchasing WCW. The deal was contingent on Turner Networks keeping Monday Nitro on TNT and then moving their other brands to Wednesday. Their acquisitions of young talent. NXT is their young development group. It is located at WWE's headquarters in Miami, Florida, and is home to all the young talent of wrestlers looking to make it to their main roster. WWE has been able to continue its growth over the years due to its talent development of young wrestlers, being able to move wrestlers from the development talent to the main rosters whenever the fans want somebody. NXT airs on Tuesday nights on USA Network starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Since WWE is the most popular wrestling entertainment brand, they have all the money and popularity to acquire all the young talent from across the world and showcase them on the biggest stage. WWE has been able to acquire all the big name talent over the last 40 years and looks to bring in more every year to please its fans. And then why invest in WWE? It has only skyrocketed in popularity since COVID and shows no signs of slowing down. A couple months ago, they had their biggest fan base with WrestleMania 40. It broke all the records of their previous PPVs, and they show no sign of decreasing in their popularity. And then with all the information given, it is safe to assume WWE is the best investment in the wrestling world, as they have taken down every competitor that's showed a chance against them.